Hi there, I'm Java Jim with First Line Equipment, and you're probably wondering why I'm wearing this mask. As you know, we have COVID-19, which has dramatically changed the landscape for coffee shops, restaurants, retailers, any type of business, as well as on a personal level with interactions, with home parties, and so forth. The purpose of today's video, and maybe you can't see, but my glasses are fogging up. They tend to get foggy with the mask on unless I put them like this. So if you have foggy glasses, and I have anti-fog glasses, they still fog up. I put it down like this and look like an older person, but I'm gonna take the mask off first, and then we'll go over some of these things. Basically to show you some safety protocols, because I've been thinking about this for over a year. When you're entering a coffee shop or a restaurant and you're serving, or a type of business, or even at home. Here in New Jersey, we have a restriction of 10 guests total in your home. It's typically 25 or 50%, depending on how the government feels. In some states, it could be 100% full, but a lot of them are working with a lot of different restrictions. Regardless of the restrictions, safety is number one. If you like to share this video with your cafe, restaurant, wherever you're going to someone's home for a party, there's little tidbits you can pick up. I'm not going to basically cover everything, but I'm going to try to cover a lot for you to keep it safe. So the first thing when I'm going into a coffee shop, what I'm looking for is masks. And it can be difficult to get masks. Some people say masks are useless. Some people say they work. Now there's word that you need to double mask. Depending on the environment I'm going into, I may double mask. I may single mask with an N95 or a KN95. I think the N95s are a little better. Me personally, from speaking to some of the physicians and surgeons who are our customers, some of them even say double mask up. Some of them just use the plain mask that's right here. So the first thing to do, wear a mask. Better safe than sorry. And I know I have viewers and believers that the masks don't work. You know what? Better safe than sorry. Okay? Here at First Line, everyone's wearing a mask. We cannot afford for someone to get sick. We just cannot afford it. And we've actually seen the common cold get diminished, because typically in December and January, somebody that has a common cold or on the verge of a flu or stomach viruses, that has gone way down here at First Line. So the first thing I look at is the mask. Now, you may say, see how I'm touching the mask? Not good. Pretty much when you hold the mask, you want to always hold it by the elasticity of the band and not touch the front. So if you're an employee at a cafe and you're touching the front of the mask, I suggest change the mask. If you're the owner of the cafe or the restaurant or in your home, provide a new mask. Okay, so that is key when it comes to masks. The second thing that we've done here at First Line to make things safer, and just to let you know, the videographer who's behind the camera, he's wearing a mask. So just to let you know, we've gotten some air ionizers. We've put in humidifiers. They say that helps, but we also have, last year, we purchased some air filters, HEPA air filters with UVC lighting that run 24/7. And then just before the common cold season, which happens in October here in New Jersey, we actually put in UVC lighting on the output of the HVAC system. So if you're a cafe owner, it's something to look at. We don't sell any of this stuff, but if you go look, the UVC, you can get it. It's like 120, 150. Depends on the size. You may need multiple, but something that when I spoke to a surgeon who works in a hospital and also a director of the MRI department, typically in the hospitals, to kill the viruses, not just the coronavirus, but other viruses on surfaces, they would actually send, here in New Jersey, they would send in these robots into the room after the person deceased or the person was discharged. A robot would go in, they'd close the window with something on the door, and the robot will go in and spot inject UVC lighting on every single surface, and it would memorize the room. The only place that they can't do this is in the MRI rooms, and that typically they said is the least safest when it comes to viruses. So that's one thing, and that's how come I learned about UVC. Spoke to another customer, they said something else, that UVC doesn't work. You know what? For the small investment, if it's for safety, I'm all for it. I may even put the UVC lighting in my home, but there's only a few of us. So, but you know, something to think about. So one area, and you can't see this when you're a customer, but to think about air quality and air pollution and trying to clean the air of the viruses. Just a little tidbit. When back in March or April of 2020, when the coronavirus was coming out, I spoke to one of my suppliers in Europe, and there was actually a study there that said they had a restaurant, they had a person who had coronavirus at the intake to go to the HVAC system for heating the air, and the whole bunch of people in this restaurant got coronavirus, and those people where they were sitting was actually below or next to where the hot air was coming in, and their filters wasn't picking it up. And they actually did a study in this restaurant in Europe, and you know, I start piecing these things together from speaking to customers. Not to say I am an expert, because I am not, but I want to try to show you some fundamental little things to keep everyone safe. Now, gloves. So if you have an employee who's working the register, and I've seen this, is also preparing the beverages, if you have one person, you're going to need a lot of gloves, because after you touch and handle money or the payment, those gloves should basically be taken off from here, okay? And then new gloves go on for the preparation of the beverage and the service. If you have two people or two employees, you should have one person dedicated to the register and one person or one employee basically handling the food and or the beverages that you're serving. So, and that person should always be wearing gloves. Now, wearing your gloves and you're coughing in your mask and your cover, change your gloves. It's common sense, okay? Just common sense, change your gloves, maybe even change your mask, okay? So if you're not gonna need as many gloves, but if you have one employee who's working both ends, you're gonna need a lot of gloves to keep it safe. Now, before we even put the gloves here at First Line, for those employees who wear them, not everyone does, we social distance and so forth, but you typically either want to wash your hands before you touch the gloves or the box of the gloves. Here we also take temperature. We wash our hands before we take our own temperatures and record them, because the first thing you do is you come in, wash your hands, and employees here are constantly washing their hands. Sometimes they get a little dry. We provide a little cream for those who want, or some employees like their own, they bring their own. But washing hands is really, really important. Here we have disinfectant, the touch points, okay? And I'm going a little bit off on a tangent, I'm gonna come back. The touch points, like the door handles, they need to be sanitized with disinfectant, or this one's germicidal deodorizing cleaner, sprayed and wiped. Again, if you have gloves on, you're gonna change your gloves afterwards. Here at First Line, when we have visitors who come for curbside, sometimes they touch the door handles, we will spray them down. It's not to say you need to do it every time, but it's better to have all the touch points, bathroom door handles, the toilet handles, if you have the sink handles, any door handles within the facilities. We even spray down the forklift trucks, carts, pallet jacks. Make a list of all the touch points and the ones that are very highly touched get disinfected more often, the ones less often, and develop that schedule and have people sign off. Again, it's just to keep everyone safe. Before it was really hard to get hand sanitizer, so if you can't wash your hands, offer this to your customers, a hand sanitizer. So after they touch the door handle, because they had to pull the door to get in, they can sanitize their hands. And the reason is because there's going to be less contamination when they touch their cups, okay? So just keep that in mind. Even little things like this roll of paper towels, every time somebody puts their fingers in here, potential for cross-contamination. Think of the little things where things can move. Now somebody may say, Jim, Java Jim, you're ridiculous. Yeah, I am ridiculous, but the key here and the key in coffee shops and even in your home, you want to keep it as safe as possible. You don't want the coronavirus affecting you. All right, so paper towels again. Now, you're probably looking here, and this happened today here at First Line. Take a look at, these are Michele Adoro paper cups, compliments of Michele Adoro. They give it to us for free. If you look here, you have the package opened on this side and the rim of the cups on the top. If you look here, you have the bottom rim of the cups where the packaging is open. So if you're using paper cups, okay, which do you think is the better? And we had a little meeting for 2 minutes today with the entire staff saying, if you have the package open this way, how do you take the cup out? You're basically touching the rim of the cup. Well, where's the rim go? In your mouth. Now, you may be wearing gloves, but if the gloves touch money or some other contaminants, it's coming at the end of the cup. So we had a little meeting because one person here at First Line, not me, somebody else, decided to open like this, and we went over and said, keep the plastic sleeve over the cups and basically just grab the bottom, lift this one up from the bottom. Man, I'm losing some strength here. Holding the cups like this. If you look here, shot glass is on the bottom, is bottoms up. The Fellows cups here, bottoms up, and this even larger Offero cup is bottoms up. The key here is to handle the cups from the bottom. Where will customers mostly handle their cup? They're not grabbing from the bottom. They're going to grab typically from here, not near the bottom. So if you really want to be very particular about where you hold the cups before serving, it's going to be near the bottom. Now, granted, some coffee shops will have sleeves. You could do that, or customers can grab their own, set them up in a way where they can grab one at a time, and you can go that route. But the key is having the sleeve here doesn't allow basically the cups to get contaminated. I've seen coffee shops where all these cups are sitting on a counter like this. And what happens? Grab this one here by the rim, okay? And little defect here, huh? You're holding these by the rim. You just contaminated the rims of these cups. So again, the sleeve, as it goes down, you just slide the plastic down. Okay, so keep that in mind. Again, if you're visiting a coffee shop and giving them business so they can survive, you can point them to this video and say, hey, watch this video with Java Jim. He's going to go over some of the things you may be overlooking to keep customers safe. From a coffee shop or a restaurant that's doing takeout, even with cappuccinos, every little thing counts because you want to make your customers feel as comfortable and as safe as possible. Again, there's people who don't believe in it, but there's people who go to the 99th degree. So you want to service all customers. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, the same thing with saucers, plates. You want to figure out how to handle them best. You're going to grab maybe for one spot, but again, just focus, okay? Focus. And even here, we even have a hand washing procedure in the bathrooms. And one of them is open the handle, get the soap from the dispenser, and then rinse, lather and rinse. Then grab the paper towel, dry your hands, and then use the paper towel to actually close the faucet handle and even touch the light switch when you're out, and then get your gloves on. So think about those procedures where you can minimize the risk of the coronavirus or even other viruses. Like I said, one of the benefits that I've seen is we're really not getting sick here. We don't have common cold. We don't have the flu. Watch tomorrow, I get the flu. But so be it. But the key is for safety and building the confidence of your customers. And this also applies in your house. If you're throwing a party and you're social distancing, just keep in mind that you want to keep everyone as safe as possible. If you have any questions or you have anything to add for safety, please comment down below. I'd love to see it. I know I can't get to everyone because I'm excruciatingly busy here at First Line, doing a lot of different things, making sure First Line is humming. Okay, make sure everything is working nice and smoothly, because I do oversee a lot of the operations here, and I also do these videos. So again, I'd be interested to see what you've learned, what you've done, what you've seen in coffee shops, so others can learn and we can share this video to those who you think need to up their game a little bit in safety. Okay, you're more than welcome to share our video here. Thank you for watching. Java Jim with First Line Equipment, and I appreciate you staying this long. Have a great day. Coffee first, everything else thereafter, and we do the things. Have a good one.